Time for one of our favorite segments of the week with our favorite fan, Katie Halper. She's going to join us to talk about how the media has covered themselves in glory. Katie, it's great to see you. I'm very sorry that Crystal had to leave a little bit early, but it's good to see you. All right, Katie, so the story we have on deck for today is actually hilarious, and it's from the New York Times. They're talking about how Republicans are actually encouraging the Green Party. Let's throw it up there on the screen. How Republicans are trying to use the Green Party to their advantage. And, Katie, what I find incredible about this is that they're trying to make the Green Party seem like a Republican plant. But if you go and look, the Democratic Party actually sued in the state of Wisconsin and others in order to kick the Green Party off the ballot and prevented ballots from arriving when they were originally scheduled to because they were so afraid of losing their vote. It's just ridiculous, this entire thing.
Yeah, it is ridiculous. And you guys Crystal did a great segment on this and how, so much for caring about voter disenfranchisement and mail-in votes. And the Democrats are actually actively delaying mail-in voting, basically, in order to go after Green Party nominees. But yeah, this article is interesting. I mean, it's a nice example of sometimes the media makes it easier for us to see just how they're serving as stenographers for the Democratic Party. And so you have the Democratic Party doing this, and then you have the New York Times basically writing an article that justifies why the Democrats would be going after the Green Party and frames them, as you said, as Republican tools. But I thought something was interesting. Even the sourcing is kind of a joke. So just reading part of it, there's a sentence that says, Republican efforts to aid the Green Party are not new. In 2016, a billionaire backer of President Trump, Bernie Marcus, the co-founder of Home Depot, provided support to Jill Stein, the Green candidate, according to people with knowledge of the strategy, who said the effort was done with the knowledge of some officials at the Trump campaign's chairman at the time, Paul Manafort. Mr. Manafort was subsequently convicted of 8 counts in unrelated financial fraud trial. So, I mean, what is this according to people with knowledge of the strategy? Who are those people?
And later on, what does that even mean? What does helping Jill Stein mean? I mean, what, are they giving them money? If that's one thing. That's a very serious charge, and you should make that charge. But look, we had Howie Hawkins here on this show, and his message was like pretty clear. And again, look, I mean, personally, I don't really believe in third parties. I don't think they're particularly effective. But that doesn't mean, look, I mean, if you're so afraid of losing because you can't convince enough people to vote for you, so you have to try and rig the ballot, what does that say about you? I don't think it's the Republicans that are doing the rigging here.
I mean, that's the big irony, right? And it's like everyone is tweeting about, listen to Bernie. Here's another example. Someone tweeted a really good response. I wish I had it. I'll tell you about I'll cite the person next week, but a really good response to these people who, you have the same people on Twitter, these blue check marks who spent the primary calling Bernie Sanders not even a Democrat, sexist, racist, supported by sexist, racist bros. And then you have these same people saying, listen to Bernie, hashtag listen to Bernie, because Bernie is, for whatever, I mean, he is, I don't even disagree with him. He's pushing people to vote for Biden. But it's a similar phenomenon. Someone was like, maybe instead of saying listen to Bernie to try to browbeat his supporters into voting for Biden, maybe one person, Biden, should listen to voters and listen to their demands, Yeah. It's like the Dems are doing everything they can to not actually win people's votes, not court voters, which is how you actually win elections. Yeah.
Right. Katie, there was another thing you wanted to mention about Stephen Cohen. I just want to make sure you give the opportunity to give the audience some context there.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Yeah, so Stephen Cohen died, who was this really esteemed and prolific scholar of Russian history, and he was 81. And I just wanted to mention it because it's a major loss, but also because Stephen Cohen was someone who, with amazing experience and expertise in this area, he'd lived in the Soviet Union, he spoke Russian, and he should have been a really important voice. He was an important voice. He should have been a very welcomed voice on the left media and liberal media, because he's an expert in Russia and they care a lot about Russia. But unfortunately, he saw through Russiagate, and so he was a marginalized and even maligned voice for the last 3 to 4 years. And even progressive media spaces didn't have him on. And he's really a notable expert. And I think his absence was a really strong indictment of how how terrible this conversation has become, and kind of a neo-McCarthyite hysteria that silences people we should be listening to.
No, I think you're absolutely right. I didn't actually become familiar with him until around 2015 and more, and especially when he started appearing on Tucker Carlson's show. Right. But he was a brilliant Russian scholar, and I mean, certainly worse off without him. So, Katie, thank you for bringing that to our attention, and thank you for joining us. It was great to see you.
Thank you. You too.
We'll have more Rising for you after this.